Hey everyone, this is Vickriman and welcome back to Symphony of War, the Nephilim Saga. This is our cool sort of Ogre Battle-ish type of game, Fire Emblem, all kinds of cool stuff. So we're between our Mission 1 and Mission 2 here. We've got the chance to do a little organization. And we're gonna do that because there's some really cool stuff that we need to check out and get set. And we'll also find that our squads are actually pretty poorly optimized at the moment, so we'll take care of that. So first thing I clicked was the tech. You can see we got 2 points. I think that this is based on your faction rank. You get a bit of this as this goes up. That's the only thing that I can see. It just kind of appears sometimes. I'm guessing that's the only thing that I think makes sense. So what we got is technology that we can choose. As you can see, we've only got the rank 1 stuff available at the moment. Makes a lot of sense, as we just started. Each of these costs 1, I think that's true of all of them, yeah, 1 tech point. We have 2 to work with, so here to start with, we can decide what we want to get. And there's actually quite a few different things that are pretty useful. So we'll want to take a look at that. So first off, we got Apprentice, unlocks a recruitment slot for apprentices. So those are the mage dudes. That's going to give us them that we can grab towards the beginning. And then mentorship. This is kind of cool for if you want to sort of train up squad leaders. Because what this does is it will help you increase the leadership stat of some of your units that are with someone with a high leadership stat. And we'll see what the leadership thing correlates to in a moment. But this basically lets you train up new squad leaders. We'll do that, I'm sure, eventually. I don't know that it's the greatest first pick for us. Merchant Envoys expands the mercenary and item trader pools. Give us more opportunity to hire experienced warriors and purchase exotic artifacts. It's probably not a bad thing to get kind of early. That gives us the most options for things that we can purchase. Zones of control lets the enemy squads incur a movement penalty when moving between tiles that are adjacent to our infantry type squads. That's actually not bad for helping with strategy. That makes it harder for the enemy to just go around you to get your archers. Support classes get 20 max HP. Kind of nice to keep them alive. Now easier for cavalry squads to achieve a charge attack. Probably not the thing we need right now. +3 weapon power for each different type of unit in the squad. A decent thing. We now have the ability to target leader attack type. So right now we only have seen basic attacks, but there are different tactics that we can use. Psych Warfare, defeating the enemy squad causes more morale damage. All new conscripts start at +1 level with half-class mastery of their starting class. That one almost feels essential to me. Second artifact slot. We don't have any right now, so I'm not going to worry about that just yet. Crossbowman class, pretty good class. Heavy infantry and heavy cavalry get +25 max HP. Heavy infantry and heavy cavalry +5 armor, and then light units get +5 armor. So right now, I think the best option for us to do standing army, because we are going to be recruiting some people. Our first army is pretty low volume, and we are actually going to probably be recruiting some people this time, this turn, to fill out some of our squads a bit. The next thing, I think this +25 HP is probably the best way to go, because most of our troops right now are heavy infantry. That would be their classification. Although we do have a lot of archers too. I'm sort of torn. These are both pretty good options, as well as that one there. I think I'm just gonna go with more HP for my frontline guys at the moment. So there's a lot of stuff that we will get. Most of the stuff we will get eventually, especially here on Tier 1. So we'll come back to that. That's what I feel like is probably our optimal start. Next thing I do when I'm in the between stages is go to supports. Looks like we've got some new ones, so we can see these scenes play out. Here there, Jules, and different circumstances and characters will bring them about. Oh, hi, Lindley. Great to see you. Pretty relieved that you and I ended up on the same team. Not sure if I would have made it through the academy without you. Yeah, I'm glad we got assigned to the same campaign, too. Lucky break, huh? So, what's it been like for you growing up in Viridia as a Sayonari? It's kind of a weird thing to say to a friend. Well, I feel very fortunate my adoptive parents made sure I didn't grow up without knowing about my Sayonari heritage. Sounds like such a wondrous place. Yeah, shame outsiders can't show their faces there anymore without being turned away. They lost so much during the Succession War and for basically nothing. They're protective of their way of life, so say my parents. Maybe Viridia's leaders could learn a thing or two from that. I can't imagine what good is to come from the attacks on the Denari temples. Most Viridians are devotees of Dinar, as if they're trying to provoke the people. Yeah, I know you don't like this sort of thing. It's okay, I usually go over my head with this stuff, but I like listening to it anyway. You're great company, Lindley. Aha, sometimes I don't understand your optimism, but I sure appreciate it. So we're now friends, Lindley and Jules. You can have as many friends as you want, but there's also like romances here going on. We'll see that a bit later. That one you have to be selective of, because you can only have one pair with your characters. Good thing we showed up, huh, Jules? Can't let the others take all the glory. Oh, come on, glory's not all that important. Says you. You're sweet and all, but you were adopted by rich nobles. The rest of us have to scratch and claw for everything we get. What do you want so bad anyway? You're doing great. Jules, I ever told you that I tried to become a paladin? Not yet, but that seems right up your alley. Exactly what I keep saying. But the temple leadership said I was too hot-headed and ambitious. So here I am, just a plain old army priestess. Sorry, Sybil, this seems very important to you. You ever seen the girls in the Sisterhood of Justice? They're so amazing and loved by everyone. I have to become a paladin somehow. I just have to. Sorry I'm being so selfish. What do you want for your future, Jules? Well, can't say I've thought about that much. I just take things day by day. Yeah, it's probably easier than always chasing the future. That's true, yeah. So we got some faction experience. Your general support, that's sort of the thing that you're going to get with that. Next thing we're going to do is hop into the army organization screen. And as you can see, we got all our squads, as I mentioned last time. We can go into the individual squads, see what's cooking. All right, so the thing to keep an eye on here is, one, we've got our threat rating, which is like our overall sort of capacity here. The movement class. So we're infantry class here with this unit. There's also cavalry, light infantry. I think there's also a slow infantry. Our morale is good. Again, that affects things like your extra attacks and things like that. Now our capacity, that's showing us our leadership capacity. So this is based on the unit leader's leadership stat. So if we go to unit status, we check Lindley, you can see all of our stats. Each of these affects different things, like obviously your weapon and armor, pretty straightforward. Strength, again, pretty straightforward. Damage dealing. Magic would be your ability to deal magical powers. Skill is like speedish, agility sort of deal. And then leadership defines how much you can have in your squad as far as your units. So in this case, we can see that we're at capacity 38. We've got 54. Towards the beginning of the game, most units are going to be a capacity level of 10 or a little bit more than that. Because once you get, I think if you get one more person here, it's going to start giving us additional requirements per person. So you can eventually fill this whole thing out if you get your leadership stat high enough, and your loyalty, which is another deal, that's a little bit more difficult to see, But if you go over to a unit here, you can see their capacity is 10. That means that they are taking up 10 of our capacity slot. And as their loyalty goes up, this actually would go down. So that makes it easier to form larger squads, even though you're taking a penalty for the number of people you have on the squad. That's kind of how they keep it as a logical progression. You can see her capacity is only 8 because she is classified as loyal. So as they go, if their loyalty goes up, they'll gain those traits, and thus their capacity will be decreased. So excellent stuff. So as you can see, 38 of 54. Lindley can have another person on her team. So to do that, I'm going to go to the marketplace and go to recruit. And we got all these options of people we can bring into the squad. Okay, so take a look there in this section as we go. These towards the bottom have this trait called Mercenary. They're a little bit special. So these are your main troops. These are basically will spawn infinitely if we start recruiting them. And they're sort of semi-randomized as far as their affinity, stats, and that kind of stuff. So we have the option of the medic, the bowman, the militia, and the fighter. And each of these evolves into different stuff. So these are the basic classes. And then they have their own whole class skill line that they can learn and be evolved into more specialized stuff. Now, our mercenaries, they start always a lot more powerful than these recruits. But the thing is, if we go over here, the unit is solely motivated by payday plus 2 capacity, unless they're a leader. So that means that these will fill out your squad pretty quickly. If you find someone with a high leadership, it may make sense to go ahead and recruit and make them a leader too, because they don't take that penalty if they're the leader. Otherwise, I would only do this if you find somebody who's really, really, really good. There are some that are really quite good. That's interesting. Unassuming. Units less likely to be targeted. That's actually really bad for a fighter. They're like tank sort of guys. Alright, so we're going to add a unit to Lindley's squad. And I think the thing that makes the most sense, since she's got a full front line, is to grab an archer. I mean, I think that makes sense. So we recruited them, and now there's another one here as well. So the stats are semi-randomized here. At this point, I mean, my approach to this is generally that each of the units is going to end up being fairly good at something. So it makes sense to me to go ahead and try to bring them in. And what I'm saying is I'm not just going to recruit a ton and then max, because you never know when you may need something else here. So like some of these guys, if they get a good magic stat later on, they can become magicians. You know, if they get high strength, they can become paladins here, that kind of stuff. So you never know what's going to happen. So I'm not gonna rule anybody out just yet. Although I guess that's probably okay to have this trait. If we send him down a non-tank skill line when he evolves. But for now, I'm going to go out of here because all I'm going to do right now is add this archer unit to our squad. I'm going to do, doesn't quite matter, I found, but this keeps them extra protected. So they have, melee units have to go from the front to the back. They have to kill all these people before they can go and get to somebody who's behind them. But say Lindley fell and these two fellas were still there, the enemy can still get her. So that's sort of they have to be right in front of them to block. So with that unit, we're up to 48 of 54. That means that that's basically all we can do at the moment. That will change. But at the moment, yeah. Do we have artifacts? We do have the ruby ring. What does that do? That gives you strength +3. Not a bad idea. We can use that for now. So that's an artifact. They give you stat boosts, usually in exchange for capacity for the unit. So that can be a bit of a trade-off to decide, hey, are we going to have a lot of artifacts that gives us good stats, or are we going to have another unit? Sometimes you run into that situation. But we'll play around with those a lot more. Check out Zelos. He can definitely get some more folks on his squad. Probably two, honestly. So let's go ahead and grab him some folks. I think I might get one of these militia. And we'll go ahead and get this guy and see what happens, huh? Alright, so let's add units here. We can probably do two. Let's put the militia first. And yeah, we can. Excellent. So now he's got a decent unit now. No healer, but I mean that can be okay. It's all about the overall strategy. So these other units can definitely heal them if they need to. But obviously he's got a lot more horsepower in the battle arena world. Let's take a look at Sybil. All right, 46. Yep. So she can't get anybody new just yet. But that's okay. We'll try to raise her capacity as we go. Jules. Now, Jules has a special trait. This is cool. So archer units in the squad cost 2 less capacity. So you are definitely incentivized to put as many freaking archers as you can in Jules' squad. And keep him as somebody who's all about attacking from a couple spaces away. I like doing that, so that's what we're gonna do. I know he can probably at least get 2 more archers, maybe even 3. So we're gonna do that. Let's get 2. And our formation doesn't really matter here because we're gonna try to keep them out of melee at all costs. Alright, and Sybil's good. She actually has a bit stronger units because those are not basic units. We're gonna go ahead and save now that we've made all those changes and go ahead and just deploy to the next mission. Oh no, we didn't, that's fine. We didn't check the marketplace to see if there was anything interesting there. Are we too late? Our base at Marienburg is under attack. Looks like we don't have time for the rest of the army to catch up. Gotta save that base. Let's meet up with the base defender and eliminate those rebels. So now you can see we got a green faction. So that's a third faction. In this case, they're allied with us. All right, what do you got? That's a melee focus unit.
How can I help, my lord?
Let's go ahead and get some archery done. Oh, hang on. Can you move onto that hill? Sure can. Might as well. That may not do too much, but you know, every little bit helps.
I'm just getting started.
All right, let's have Sybil do it. She's actually technically the way this unit is constructed with the spearmen front line. They're really pretty good at taking down cavalry. Does the spearmen get a bonus for that?
Direct my blade.
All right, let's see what happens here with Zelos' new army. As you can see, when you do a regular attack here with a mixed unit, the archers are going to attack as well. So Lindley, we're going to put you in the forest. That gives you a slight bit of cover. We're just going to go ahead and attack. Again, we've got a bigger unit than before. And yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Alright, that's all we can do. They're gonna attack Lindley. It's probably gonna be fine. They just don't have the DPS to really make a huge dent with our healer. So you see the other units are gaining leadership. At some point we may have pull them out to be leaders of their own units. Because Lindley tends to have a really high leadership, so she's pretty good at training people up once we get that mentor trait. There's another unit here that's going to do that too. This battlefield has lots of woods and forests. Woods being rough terrain slows down the movement. Offers protection against long-range arrow fire. That's what I was kind of alluding to. So you get a little bit of cover from arrows when you're in the forest.
Here goes nothing.
And yeah, let's see if we can get Sybil a bit more
They'll notice this one for
more
sure.
experience. There we go. Leadership up. That's what I like to see.
Ready.
All right, we're gonna move over here, and I think, yeah, we're gonna talk to this fella.
Stay strong, everyone. Time to end this.
Let's just have Jules attack again. We're gonna do less damage because of the forest, but as you can see, he's got 5 archers. That packs a punch.
Your command?
And yeah, we'll just have Delos finish him off. Easy. Alright. Are we? Yep, there we go. Lindley! What in the world's coming to with you, my hide? It's the least I can do, Barnabas. I owe you the world. Everything you got through your own sweat and grit. Won't my doing. Honor to fight by your side after all these years. Can't wait to show you what I've learned. So yeah, they know each other. Barnabas, he's sort of like a trainer for your person back in the day. So we've got 2 paths. If we approach from the right, it looks like we'll face 2 squads of cavalry. Cavalry have fast and powerful warriors, but fall easily to spears. Guarding a stable we can take as a source for war horses for ourselves. Lindley, look out for those walls. Those archers on top of the walls are protected from close range attacks. The arrows will be much stronger, but if we can break through and go up the ramps, we can take those guys out. Or I can shoot them from the ground, but I'll be at a disadvantage. We can go left, a more direct route. They've got 1 fort there, guarded by some pretty tough squads. Taking that fort won't be easy. Lindley, the left route is connected by roads. Road terrain allows all units a high degree of movement range. Why not both? More objectives to capture, more reward. That's the spirit. So now we got Barnabas on the team. He is a cavalry. It's actually a knight unit. He's got a couple of cavalry guys with you. As you can see, that means that he gets a lot more movement range. And also when he attacks, he can actually move afterwards, which is pretty nice. All right, so now we gotta split the forces. Oh, geez. That is not good. Well, as you can see, they got us a bit out of position there. And Jules is kind of screwed at the moment. Fellow should do just fine, though. Alright, one thing I should mention too is as we do all of these battles and we gain experience, your units are gaining both XP to level up as well as class XP. And when the class XP reaches the max level, they're going to be able to get their new evolved classes. Alright, so whether we wanted those cavalry fellows or not, they are right here upon our doorstep. And as I mentioned, Sybil's sort of specialized to take them out. So she's heading over there to do that. As you can see, made short work of them.
For Viridia.
And again, Zelos can, you know, destroy them for sure. But we'll go ahead and make the movement up and figure that out. So, let's take a look at these objectives. Yeah, the Donari Temple. We're going to want that for sure now because old Jules took a lot of damage. He lost a couple units, I think including himself.
School is in session.
All right, so we are going to take both routes.
For my people. For my
We're
homeland.
pretty tanky, honestly, so we can be a bit free with that. So let's end the turn. I did not want to have them be attacked by that, but that's okay. Ooh, nice. Lots of zeros there. Barnabas, pretty tough, and he also has a ton of leadership skill. And I think he actually has a trait that amplifies the mentorship stuff or something like that. Yep, so there's the Donari Temple. If our troops have fallen, they can be revived there. The enemy will do the same, so it's best we take the temples no matter what. So that makes sense. So what we want to do is get Jules up there.
Here goes nothing.
And while we're at it, we're going to get those objectives as well.
Here comes Sybil, ready or not.
So that team will head that way. All right, so actually Barnabas is stronger than we are.
I must stay strong.
So in that case, I'm going to go ahead and attack with Lindley. We're going to get a bit of free healing. Level up, and we got class mastery up. That means that these units can, if they got the stats for it, become a more advanced class.
Awaiting orders.
So now we're going to go ahead and attack with our cavalry. Barnabas is a beast. And that's our extra movement, you can see. I like to use Barnabas and cavalry units to capture a lot of objectives because of that. Because they can attack and then move towards an objective that they can capture in the next turn. Very handy. Plus, once they've gotten it, they can get back into position a lot more readily. So we're just going to move up here. Might as well go ahead and heal up.
I ain't got 'em.
Barnabas, go ahead and take that. And we definitely want this mine for the gems. Gems are used for spellcaster units.
Stay
All
strong,
right, we're going to have
everyone.
you capture that one so that you're in position to later grab
They'll notice this one for
that
sure.
stuff, the temple.
Your command.
But we're going to try to get Zelos up there as well. Alright, they didn't do anything. Trying to defend that position, I suspect. Go ahead and seize the gem mine. That's some good stuff.
The time to act is now.
Oops, not heal. We're gonna attack. That's a pretty big unit. Luckily, we took out some of their troops before they could attack. That is one of the things that you really want to do if you can. Because obviously, fewer units mean less damage for you. Alright, in this case, we're going to seize that with Zealous there. Because you can't actually seize and do the revive, and well, maybe you can. I don't know. I've tried that, but that's okay. No big deal. They might be able to attack me. I'm not sure. Odd formation there. Alright, let's get Zelos moving. You can see we can attack because we do have some archers. Now they're gonna do quite a bit more technical. Ah, jeez! Not expecting that much damage. Actually, we might as well heal. That's good.
How can I help, my lord?
I'm gonna take you in here and revive.
Ready.
As you can see, that steel didn't actually heal them all the way. We're gonna need some healers to do that ourselves. The other thing you can do is if you get a certain technology, you can actually be healed when you're near one of your captured objectives. We don't have that yet.
School is in session.
We're sort of nearing the end here. Let's see what they can do.
Just getting started.
Yeah. This unit is actually much stronger than it appears.
He will always find a way.
Alright, Jules, we're gonna try not to let you get hit.
Here goes nothing.
Actually, that's a samurai, so you're gonna get return fire for sure.
For my people, for my homeland.
Now, the samurai is a super interesting unit because it can use bow and polearm, so it's good in both melee and
Stay strong, everyone.
range. But to do so, obviously, it sacrifices some of the proficiency that you get when you have a unit that's more purely focused on one or the other. So yeah, I'm gonna attack first with Barnabas because, again, so Lindley, the next attack dog sent by the capital. Do you even know why you bleed for them? Perhaps not, until you've made to bleed enough. Alright, and I think this episode is actually going to end up being a bit longer than most, just because we did some explanation of
Stay strong.
all of the between stuff. That's interesting.
Your command?
I mean, you might as well. Yep, they got no units left, so we're just waiting for our turn. And we may as well just have Lindley take that one. They've reached Centurion's Rest. Fall back to the keep. Prepare our final defenses. Totally did great on that one. 20 years ago in the Imperial Army barracks. Sergeant Barnabas, we've got another one. Get your men organized, ready to deploy. Right, another Denari temple. You have a problem with that, Sergeant? No, sir. Your armor's being put to good use, sir. Yes, I'm sure you think so. Try to clean the uniforms up a bit before your men shut that place down. With what resources, sir? We barely got enough coin to keep our boys from chopping my head off. You telling me we're to worry about spit and polish now, too? Just find a way, Sergeant. Oh, yep, this is, I can do it, sir. Whoa there, small fry. Who let you in here? Sorry, I'll leave. Hey, don't sweat it, kid. Get on home. Now, your folks are worried. Well, I thought so. Was hoping you had a home to go to. Let me clean the uniform, sir. I ain't got nothing to pay you. Ain't worth spending the energy. It's alright. Please, sir. Supplies in the basement. Maybe the shields could have a bit more shine to them. Looks like I lost my appetite too. Guess someone will have to take my lunch, so don't go to bed. Nothing special, but it fills you up. That's how we met old Barnabas back in the day. And we're gonna go ahead and save the game here. Alright, it's the final stand of the rebellion. Prime Minister Casimir is here with our army now. Alrighty, so we are between missions now, and we will, as is our pattern at the moment, we're going to save and end the episode here. And the next one we'll prepare for and take down Mission 3, Crimson Star. And I hope you've been enjoying and finding this game pretty sweet like I do. And I'll see you in the next episode.